We also have, ladies and gentlemen, with the music, it's the Backsliders. We have Dom Turner, Rob Hurst, Joe Glover, and their guest, Jim Magini. And here is a treat today for my final TJF in the chair. They have a brand new song. It's never been heard before. It's up online today if you want to grab yourself a copy of this song. So let's talk about the song. Rob Hurst, this is one of yours. Rob has written many of the great hits of Midnight Oil, has now written this song. It's called Taxpayer Blues. Tell us about it, Rob Hurst.
Okay, so Richard, thank you. Yeah, so we did write a new song for you, Richard, to commemorate your last gig, and congratulations also.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Rob, tell us about the songwriting process. So I remember seeing that fantastic Midnight Oil exhibition you had at Manly Gallery. It might have been a decade ago, but there were amazing things. One of the things I remember, in a glass case, there was a bit of motel note paper, and it had the lyrics to one of your most famous songs. I can't remember which one, but and all these little bits of crossings out where you'd replace one word with another word, and it was the replacement word was the perfect word, and I can't imagine the song without it. Tell us about that process.
Well, we spent a lot of time in motels, hotels around the world. It's a bit like fighting a war being in a band. You know, it's like 5% terror and 95% hanging around sheer boredom. So you get the hotel notepaper, and if you're lucky enough to have any kind of inspiration on the road that doesn't relate to catering or being on the bus with a whole lot of other clammy middle-aged men, then you get this down. Then I collect all those notepapers, and then if inspiration strikes and you've got your guitar in hand, and this is something certainly Jim knows because he was there with me all those times, and if songwriting comes upon you, then you've got all this stuff and you just leaf through it, and I think that's how songs are made.
Now, Dom, tell us about the Backsliders, because this is a band which for a long time has bounced between an understanding of very traditional blues music, sometimes from the 30s and 40s in America, in these tiny hollows that you study, and that's yet somehow you make it contemporary. How do you bounce between modern Australia and these places?
Well, interesting question, Richard. Yeah. So basically, we do it in a number of ways. One is the fact with blues music that it's unlike kind of, pop or rock or whatever. It's not sort of bogged down with chords as much. It doesn't. So what really happens is when Rob and I write together. So for example, if Rob's got the part of the musical part of it, he'll be strumming something out, and so what I'll try and do is find some middle ground where there's a kind of a groovy riff that's sort of blues-like, or some kind of blues melody. It's more about, with blues, it's all about the feel, and the feel comes from basically notes and riffs and that sort of thing, and rhythms, rather than it does from the chords. So we put the two and two together, and that's,
Bingo.
And bingo.
And
that's
bingo.
what happens.
Now, Joe, who's my son, you've been playing with the Backsliders since you were very young. What have you learnt from Dom and Rob that your own father failed to teach you?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, I guess, obviously I'm spoilt getting to play with these musicians up here, but I think the most important thing they've taught me was, even if you're in a one-pub town in the middle of nowhere, you still get your phone out to just check that there's not another restaurant that might be better reviewed. You always check, just in case. And I think that's something that you absolutely never taught me. But I have learnt it from them.
I taught you choose the cheapest place in town.
Yeah.
I think Rob has very consciously taught you stagemanship. Do you think that's right?
I didn't want to say anything positive about them, mate. You don't want them getting a big head.
No, a bigger head. Jim Magini, you not only, along with Rob, wrote many of the great songs of Midnight Oil, you also have got a recording studio, and I know you've worked with Joe and his band and other people in the recording studio. Tell us about like a song like this which you've recorded, how you take the Backsliders song and make it come to life in a recording studio.
Well, they just play it live. It's like the old school thing. If you are old school, it's better to be old school all the way. But I was very disturbed when they recorded it because they insisted on recording it in the nude.
Yeah, as usual.
And it was very distracting for me because I was sort of on the laughing end of the multi-core, really. It was, but no, it's all live. It's all just off the floor, big energy. and it's done really quickly, and without too much judgment or overthinking.
Do you want to hear a new Backsliders song for the first time? Here they are, live on Thank God It's Friday.
Paying my tax if I had to say where the money went. Wouldn't mind paying my tax if I only knew where the money was spent. I don't want to fund no war if you're gonna feed the poor. You can have my money. You can have my money. Paying my tax just as long as I knew where the money goes. Wouldn't mind paying my tax if I only knew what the tax man knows. I don't want to pay no more than the folks who live next door. You can have my money, and you can have my money. This time for a long time has not been on our side. Time for a long time has not been on our side. I don't mind paying my tax, but I don't want to face obliteration. The need to find the line between greed and annihilation. Never made a claim before, I just want to make them sure. Before you have my money, before you have my money. This time for a long time has not been on our side. Time for a long time has not been on our side. Time for a long time has not been on our side. Time for a long time has not been on our side. Not been on our side. It's not been on our side. Not been on our side.
The Taxpayer Blues, the Backsliders. Please thank John Turner, Rob Hurst, Joe Glover and Jim Magini. And the new song, it's released today. You can find it on the Backsliders website for download. We have lots coming up here on Thank God It's Friday, my final one in the chair. We have Tommy D and Alex Lee here and our wonderful audience. Thank you for coming.
What
And of
do
course,
you see?
sorry, Tommy.
Do you see, though, what Elon Musk was going on about? You couldn't have written a more perfect theme song for Pravda.
The Pravda Blues. That's really what it was. Adam Story has some news headlines for us.